You ever see Wait Exhale? You know what when they say that's a man, Savannah.
That's a man, Savannah.
Baby, you a man. This is Terrence Terrell. You're on. Thanks for being on here.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, I had to get that out the way. I just had to get it. So I opened the door. I didn't realize how tall he was. I opened the door and I'm like, hi. And hello, how are you? Come on in.
I'm tall.
Yes, you are. And you are, in addition to tall,
Yeah.
you are an Emmy Award winner.
Yes.
You are the progressive man.
I am the motor.
The motor. You know Flo from the progressive commercials? Well, guess what? I ain't never seen a black man. I ain't never seen a brown nothing on the progressive commercial.
There's a...
In the background, an extra.
It's,
somebody, you can protect your check, baby. I'm gonna tell you what I saw. Okay. What else are you? You have a show. You have two shows on BET Plus.
Two shows on BET Plus. First Wives Club with Jill Scott, and then Bigger with Will Packard, who produced that. Yeah. And then Amazon, Bosch, and then HBO. Room 104 coming in.
My Jesus, that's wonderful. Well, I'm happy you came by here
Thank
today.
you for having me, and this food looks amazing.
Digging, so y'all always want to know what we eating. So we got lemonade. My plate's a little smaller, but
I guess because I'm a man.
You a man, okay?
Yeah.
So, and I just had, I did a story time earlier, and I had some spaghetti earlier, so that's why. But we're talking about colorism.
Yes.
We're talking about colorism. So, here's my thought about colorism. So I'm from the South, and you would think that you would see colorism more in the South. I definitely saw it there. I definitely experienced it more in LA. This is the first place I would come, then I would hear whole ass black men saying, "Oh, if a woman's darker than a certain color, certain tone, I don't date her," or whatever. You see it all the time with men saying that about men. People saying it, period. You hear women saying the same thing. Well, I was like, well, damn, I thought that this would have been left like in the deep South, but y'all reviving this shit here.
Now y'all, them. It's it's really real. It's real, and sometimes it's so underlined we don't even know it ourselves that we're doing it ourselves. You know what I mean? Because I'm from the South as well. My grandmother was fairly light, and then my granddaddy was dark as me. And I just remembered one time. I just always thought light-skinned people got treated better because I saw that. So I remember there was this one time I wanted to be light-skinned, and so I told my granddaddy I wanted to be light. So he told me to take a bath. Okay. I took 7 baths that day because I wanted to try to scrape my skin color off. And my grandma came home and she was livid, and she sat down with me and explained my color and why I was so special. And she started really nurturing like who I am now.
You felt insufficient in that moment because you were darker?
Yes.
How long did it take that to go away, or did that go into your adulthood as well?
Oh my God, I'm 35. It happened when I was 31.
Really? Were you conscious of it the whole time?
Yes. Well, not as much. I just thought, I graduated from grad school at 21. And I moved out here and I'm like, okay, I got my master's. And then I would end up booking these shows. Criminal Minds, I booked Criminal Minds and other projects. But I remember Criminal Minds specifically in the trailer. And I'm like, they're going to knock on the door because they made the wrong choice. I'm like,
really?
What?
So you're expecting to lose your job?
Lose my job because I was just like, I didn't think I was enough. And so I thought it was something else, just me being nervous. But when I actually went through a depression era and I went to therapy and, helped myself out and took responsibility for my own life, I realized that it was things that were self-rooted in like my childhood. Like my mom, she was like, "Oh, you're dark, but you got good hair. You're the one with the good hair."
It was your dark, but this I hate when people say,
"Yeah."
What was it? They say, she dark, but she pretty.
She's dark, but you're pretty for a light skin.
You're pretty for a dark girl.
Not nice. Like we say that or you're pretty for a little chubby baby. You know what I mean? And we don't understand that that stuff really affects children, and we take it over to our adulthood, and then now you got these little angry grown-ups running around here. So I realized it. I took accountability and went full throttle in it.
So how did you work through it? Was therapy the primary way that you worked with colorism?
My book.
Your book.
I wrote a book.
You wrote a book.
And I was, I wrote 3.
This is the first one, okay.
But this is Blackie. So it's about a little boy who's dark-skinned, darker than his siblings. And he gets teased. So Blackie, and then he realizes his name is Skylar. It's a story of confidence. And after he realizes what melanin is, He,
This one's good.
yeah, it's a real, self-published, and I make sure it's quality.
This is
so
nice.
It means be loving, adoring, caring, and kind of yourself. So it's for anybody who feels like they don't belong. So Blackie's like the black sheep of the family.
You know what I love about this?
Right.
Is that you can't control what your children face on a day-to-day basis. So I want to tell you this. This is an honest story from me to y'all. So I want kids. Everyone knows that I got 19 nieces and nephews. Okay, my brother Neil got 7 of them. Okay, obviously we're very fertile because we got all these kids. And so anyway, I said I want me some babies. Now I started thinking about putting them in school. And so I live in Los Angeles. I have no plans on leaving Los Angeles. I started thinking about where the kid's going to go to school because I'm not broke. I'm pretty affluent, and when you think about where you live and thinking about, I had the privilege of for most of my childhood going to school with predominantly African Americans. When I say privilege, there's nothing wrong with going to mixed race environments, but it was very empowering to me.
See,
to be
that freaked me out.
Really,
we moved to San Diego when I was 5, so I grew up in like seeing the Asian kids, the Samoans, and different things. So when I moved back to Mississippi when I was 15, it was nothing but black kids. I thought I was gonna get lost in the system or something. It was really weird, but it really showed me what sisterhood was, brotherhood. It really showed me my
community.
roots. Yeah, and then I ended up going to 2 HBCUs right after.
Right after that, for me it was the opposite. I went to nothing but black schools for the most part until the end of high school. And so for me, by the time I got into racially diverse environments, and when I got into those environments, I definitely did face racism. I'm just going to call it out. Wow. Absolutely. These kids, by the time you're about 14, 15, you take on the traits of your parents. And so...
What happens? Give me one
example. I mean, the way that people would talk down to you, the little things that they would say, the microaggressions, all that kind of stuff. And so for me, because I came up in an environment that never made me feel inferior for being African American, I was empowered. I'm like, you just full of shit, baby. You ignorant. I didn't take in their microaggressions as a reflection of my truth. So with that said, when I think about raising my own kids, 9 times out of 10, I'm not living in an area that's predominantly African American, because for the area that I live in, me based on my own comfort, these areas tend not to be as predominantly African American. That just is what it is. So when I think about that, I'm thinking about putting them in school. I literally said to myself at one point in time, I think I may want to have the kids homeschooled. Now, I'm not going to be teaching I'm not hiring in somebody, but I think I may want to have the kids homeschool because I don't want them to be in an environment where they may be made to feel inferior in some way, shape, or form. So regardless, I'm bringing this all up to say, not everyone has the resources to homeschool or something like that. So when you think about your kids being in an environment during the day where you can't control the influences coming at them, but at the end of the night, you can have stories like this to re-empower them, to reinvigorate them, and remind them of their confidence and their importance and their greatness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the importance of this. So what's the other book?
Okay, so the cheese came up because my mom passed. So here I am thinking like, okay, perfect. I got this done. And then I get hit with another test. I feel like it's always a setup for greatness. So my mom, when she passed, I realized after reading her diary, because she fell in love with Blackie. She was like, oh my, she cried. And like,
your mother was so proud.
Yeah, she was like, this is a story that everybody's going to read. I'm like, I was nervous because I'm like, name the book Blackie. So I'm like, it's a little aggressive.
That's a great title though.
But I was like, it needs to mean something. It needs to, understand whatever. So then after she passed, I went through her diary and I understood why she loved Blackie so much, because she had so many different things going on, like being molested, raped, and then other things like her complexion. She didn't like her complexion, her hair. And I was like, wow, so these babies, literally, she didn't know, we always say like our parents are just trying to do their best, but they really are trying to do their best. They don't know any better. So I wrote the book to She's to honor her because she was my superwoman. So She's is an acronym. It means superheroes every day, because yes, we're all special, but women are especially, and girls especially, because they have to multitask on a different level every day. Because I remember my mom was on welfare, but we weren't starving. With the first day of school, she always figured something out. You know what I mean? And then having to deal with her other little things that she had that she was dealing with that we didn't know, but she raised us to be our best. She always said, be better than me. Don't be like me, be better than me. So that was in honor of her. So it's about 3 girls. You learn about DNA in there, and then why girls are so special.
Where can people buy it?
iCrownedMe.com.
iCrownedMe.com. We'll put the link above or below the video, and you got a discount code for them?
Yes, MJ10.
MJ10, like the 10?
The 10.
All right, y'all. Just to give you a sense of what kind of book this is, we're going to get into our discussion. I just love this. So this is right when you open the book right here. It says, I wrote this book for all the she's in the world who give their all while sometimes forgetting to save some of that love for themselves. No matter what your shape, color, or hair texture, you are all superheroes in my eyes. This will make you young women feel really good. I like that. All right, so what's this one?
So then the Crown Kids came up because I wanted to make sure I include different kids.
And I see you have one here, differently abled kids
yeah,
in a wheelchair.
So you have where he plays basketball. He's going to Special Olympics. You have the Asian boy that dances. So everybody thinks, oh, a boy can't dance. A boy's not supposed to dance. But no, you can do whatever you want with your life. This is your life. And then the Mexican girl of choice. And that was the issue. A lot of my friends who were Hispanic, they don't know how to speak Spanish. And I was like, why? And I was taught that a lot of them were not taught Spanish inside the home because the mom and dad didn't want to set them up for failure, quote unquote, because they wanted to give them the American dream. And they felt at one point them tapping into their Spanish roots will take them away from the American dream.
I get that. They want them to better assimilate.
Yeah, so I was like, here we are trying to be ourselves. As black kids, we're forced and told, pull into your roots. But just imagine going home and not really getting the full grasp of your roots because they're afraid that you won't get that American dream. So I was
fair.
I was like, let me go ahead and spread this out. So the Crown Kids is all about anti-bullying, self-love, and understanding that we can crown ourselves. We don't have to wait for anybody to crown us. We have that power ourselves.
I like that.
Thank you.
So you're in Hollywood. You are clearly a very successful actor here.
Yeah.
You are. You are.
I own it.
And you are a darker skinned man. That's not the most common story here. I want y'all to think about, for black men who've been movie stars over the last 2 decades, how many of those black men are darker skinned? It just, if you think about the leads in these shows and stuff like that, how many of the black men are darker skinned men, right? So I just want, and for that matter, darker skinned women. And so, with all that said, do you feel like colorism, or do you think that your skin color made it harder or easier, or did it impact your path in any way professionally?
At first, it did.
Really?
At first it did, because there wasn't a lot of people that looked like me, like Wesley Snipes, and even at one point, Eddie Murphy was the reason I wanted to become an actor. And but you don't see leads like that. I only saw, you saw like Wesley lead in a movie or something like that, or you saw him a vampire killer. And he had vampires, so he's not always black. He have something. So I'm like, okay, cool. But now, because we're in, it's
you think black is in now? Or dark is in, I should say.
Dark, it's coming. It's not fully in, but it's here. It's
I still see more diverse representation on camera. I mean, look at what was it, Black Panther?
Yes.
Full
of beautiful melanin, just amazing. But it just depends. Like, even now, you can, in some of these casting things that I get across, they'll say African American male, Obama type. So that means,
what does that mean?
Light skin.
That's with the shit in caps?
Yes. And caps, Obama type.
Don't bring us somebody too dark.
And then you can have the talent, you can be pushing yourself, but it's always that next step that you got to have the extra push. And so at the same time, with that, you do have to work harder.
Really?
You have to work hard. I'm still in acting classes. I believe in that, training yourself and working on your craft on a daily basis. But at the same time, it also makes you more confident in yourself, because at the end of the day, I can't bleach my skin. Well, I can, but I ain't.
I was so smart the other day.
I'm not bleaching my skin.
I'm not calling no names. I'm not messing. But I know good and goddamn well when I saw him last year, motherfucker look like you.
Now he like,
and now he look like me. And he getting lighter by the day.
Yeah.
He tried to take down all his old pictures so you couldn't really see. I'm like, baby doll, I remember that you didn't look like this.
No, I love my skin color. Like, at first it was a challenge, but now, like, I don't even like getting scratched.
Really?
Yeah, I love my skin color.
You know, for me,
But it gives you a confidence now, because at the end of the day, this is what you're getting. When I walk in this room, I'm going to give you 150,000% of me. And I'm going to give it to you, all of me. But at the end of the day, if it's not enough for you, I'm ready for something else. I'm not going to sit here and let you dictate my journey. No, I'm me, and that's what you're going to get.
no, I get that. Like, for me, my family, all of us are pretty much about the same complexion, I would say. So I never saw any colorism in my family in any way. When I experienced it more was definitely once I started dating. And you start to experience it there, you know. And for me, I'm not considered dark. I'm not considered light.
You brown.
Yeah, brown. Let's say you brown. And so with that said, I saw it more with how I would hear people talk about other people. Oh, look at that, so-and-so over there. Oh my God, you know, look at him, he's so light-skinned. He's sexy thing, he light-skinned this, he's always light-skinned. And although no one would say that light-skin was better, you could hear that when people would talk about what they were attracted to, they would put light-skin on a hierarchy, as if somehow or another saying he was light-skinned was like saying he had a PhD. I'm like, you do realize he did not work for this, and this is not a reflection of his character, it's not a reflection of anything. It simply is, he's light-skinned, you know?
Wow.
And I started to sort of observe that in other people. And then it went further, like I said, when I moved here. I'm telling you, I have met so many black men here in LA, Los Angeles, California. I date all types, but you know, I just really, what excuses I've heard. Y'all comment below with you know, those out there who may have heard men or women make excuses for why they only date lighter skinned people. I want to hear what some of the excuses are. One of the excuses I heard was, this is the dumbest fucking shit I
know it. I already know it.
So he says, you know, I come from,
I already know
all my family look like me. I want to date somebody who look different. That was the first excuse.
Okay, that wasn't mine.
The next, well, what's the one you think about?
I don't want my babies to be dark.
I've definitely heard that with some offensive ass shit. Because you can have two light-skinned people still produce a darker baby.
Exactly.
What you do, love them less?
Exactly. I don't want to set them up for, my kids up for failure. What?
People have some ignorant ass beliefs. Another one that I've heard is, I don't know. I can't help what I'm attracted to. I only happen to be attracted to people who are this complexion. And I'm like, hold on. Yes, attraction is natural, but it's also very mental in this condition. And then when you convince yourself that somebody of a certain complexion or any background is inferior, that is going to impact what you are attracted to at the end of the day. So your attraction is not based on some physiological setting within your mind that you can only be attracted to the skin color. That doesn't work.
Right.
What it is that you created a complex in your mind about these people. And I personally believe that colorism is a form of internalized racism. Now I'm just going to call it a thing when it comes from black folks. I'm not talking about when other folks do it, all right? It's internalized racism, is that you have convinced yourself of some narrative that you grew up with or that you heard, and now you're projecting that out onto your dating choices or somehow or another. You know, if I want, you know, it's also how you want to be received by other people because you believe that you're inferior, this person with color, because you have dark people who are colorists, just like you have light people who are colorists.
Right.
And because I may believe that I'm inferior because I'm darker skinned, I'm going to use getting a lighter skinned partner as a way to make me feel more.
Wow. Yeah.
And lighter skin can be a light skinned black person. It can be a person who's not black.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I do believe that sometimes people choose the color of their partner because it gives them a sense of importance.
Wow.
I'm just calling it out.
Yeah,
I've definitely seen this. You know, that's certainly not everybody. I'm not saying that everyone who dates a light-skinned person who dates outside their race has that belief. I'm saying that some people that I have met have verbally said this to me. I think you should choose a partner based on love. You should choose your friends based on love, whether they're black, white, blue, or purple.
Right.
All right? Mom is telling, and it just has mortified me to hear because I've never been on the receiving end of it. But when you hear this ignorant ass shit, you just be like, the fuck?
But see, this is why when I say, I use my words carefully when I say I took responsibility for my own life. You know, a lot of us are running around here hurt and not understanding.
They ain't have blackie. That's the book when they were before.
Yeah, they're not understanding that all of this stuff is coming from self-hatred.
It is.
So you have to dig in there. You got to be strong enough to handle what you find, because you're gonna find some dark shit in there. You know what I mean?
What was the breaking point? Because let me say this, you from Mississippi, all right? You dealt with colorism, racism, all that kind of stuff for as early as you can remember. That level of thinking, however functional or dysfunctional it may be, it became normalized for you at a certain point.
It did.
So you could have gone on the next 3 decades living the same way, 4 or 5 decades thinking the exact same way.
Have an excuse. Like at this point, I could have really played victim and had every right at one point. My mama dead, everybody dead. I done went through this. My counselor at school told me I should just work at the chicken plant and told me school wasn't for everybody.
Based on what?
On where my family, who my family was in the town. And like, school ain't for everybody.
You told your mother that? What they say?
No, I wouldn't tell my mom. My mom was crazy. She would have pulled up.
I was wondering, I was like, if your mama like me,
she was in
I was like,
San Diego.
come out, bitch! Come the fuck out! I'm just sitting outside, rollers in my hair and a house coat. Come the fuck out!
I sat down. I made mama like into a cartoon story, but she was a gangster. So
really?
She was in San Diego. She would have drove and came in Mississippi.
Good for her.
Yeah, mama didn't play that. But and that instead of making, thank God who my mom was, because instead of making me turn into a victim, I used that as power. So when somebody told me no, I was going to show you why it was a yes, and then nail it into you on why it's going to continue.
Well, you did what a lot of victims do. When I say victims, meaning people who have been traumatized by some kind of experience or mindset. And we've all been victimized some way, I would believe, but you took that and used it as a source of empowerment, but it also was a thorn in your side.
Yes.
So what was it at age 31? What was the straw that broke the camel's back that said, I need to fix this? Because fixing it is a lot of work.
Oh.
Nobody jumps into the healing process for the fun of it.
A bad relationship.
I knew it was something. There's always something. What happened?
The bad relationship. Giving, like, at the end of the day, it is a thorn in my side. Or
If you like a cookie, I always like.
What kind of cookie?
Chocolate chip, and this is caramel.
Oh,
yeah, you go. Okay, so go ahead. Bad relationship.
But bad relationship, and it was always about giving, and not wanting to lose out on that special someone. And oh my God, I saw this picture in my head, like, we'd be so great together, and it just wasn't that.
So how does that have to do with your colorism? How did you get you to work through that?
Because I was projecting my needs on somebody else compared to coming back to myself and realizing that I supply all my needs and I'm already a whole. So I need to be 100%, not 50% of a person to meet the other 50. I need to be 100% to meet somebody else who's already another 100%, who's done the work on themselves, so that we can come together and collaborate and live a life together.
And you realize that you couldn't do the work on yourself with that big barrier there.
No, there's no way. There's no way. Because that's a point of hatred. That means you don't love yourself. And like, you can look in the mirror and say, I love myself. But if you can really, really look in the mirror and say, I love myself, you can pick yourself apart and know your flaws and realize they're not flaws. That's what makes you
who you are.
Exactly. So, yeah, it was a big barrier. It's like a heavy backpack. So as soon as you got rid of that load, I was able to then dig into myself and understand, like, what I like, who I am, and not try to be an imposter of who Terrence was, me, but be authentically Terrence. But the reason that is because of my grandmother. My grandmother always she was fairly light, like I said, but she would always say, like, oh my God, I wish I was as dark as you. You know, I'm like, really? Like, why would you want
That's beautiful.
She was like, baby, your skin is like gold. And she's like, you're a king. I couldn't even spend a night at people's house unless they had another bedroom for me and a separate bed. Because she's like, you're a king. As a child, she's like, you're a king. You can't sleep on pallets. She wouldn't allow me to sleep over certain people's houses. She's like, no, you're a king. Your skin is amazing. She used to always just say so much.
What's your grandmother's name?
Clemiola.
You need to make her a character in a book if she ain't already.
She's all over this, and my company Ola Productions is out.
Oh, perfect.
Because, you know, she brought me up to love myself, but then there were still things inside of me that I need to work out on my own course. But she already marked that like you are beautiful, and she's like, I can't wait till you have some beautiful dark babies. And I'm like,
she made you. She empowered you.
She empowered. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have me a big old chocolate baby, big old curly. You know what I mean? Compared to I want to like, yeah. And
That's
then
beautiful.
also this Miss Tina, Beyonce's mom, she said something to me 2 weeks ago because my hair had to grow out for the progressive campaign again because it's the most hair. She was talking to me. And I told her, she like, oh, your hair grew out. I said, yeah, but I look like a plucked chicken. Automatically just playing. And she said, no, your hair is beautiful. And your skin color. She fed into me right there. And it wasn't nothing forced. She just checked me right away. She's like, no. She's like, you are beautiful in your hair. She's like, now I can see your full crown. Like I was like, oh, thank you, Mama T.
Yeah.
But it's like those people who you
That's
think,
so beautiful.
like, oh my God. Like she poured into me within like 5 seconds and moved
beautiful.
on. It wasn't a whole like, you are strong, independent. She was just like, oh no, you're beautiful. Look at your hair. Like I can finally see. You should let it grow out.
That is so beautiful.
Yeah, I'm telling you, but it's like women like that.
Miss Mama Tina,
Yeah,
all these women just pouring love on
Angels.
you.
And so I say I lost my mother, but I have so many other mothers. I gained an angel, but I have so many other mothers on this earth. It's ridiculous. I have a godmom, Mama Don. She's a Jewish white woman, but you can't tell that woman she's not my mama. She fight like that's my son. That's my son.
Yeah.
So it's like I have all these women who just have guided me and helped me along the way, and it's a blessing.
That is so huge to have those people in your corner. For me, it was definitely my dad and my mom. So my mom and dad.
They still together?
No, they broke up when I was a kid. But they have always gotten along. And the thing is, they're very different people, but very similar in how they empowered us as kids. Because, they were very, very much so into Black empowerment, right? They never taught us that anybody else was inferior, but they also never let us believe that we were inferior to anybody else. She says, my mother would always say, it doesn't matter what the narrative that the world tells you about who you are as a Black man. At the end of the day, that is not who you are. What you are is who you believe you are. My father's the same way. So I never had a moment of believing that I was less than because of my race or because of my skin color or anything like that. So when I would go into the world, and I would encounter people who treated me poorly. Like even today, I'll give you a prime example. Even today. Today, literally.
Wow.
I had finished working out.
Okay.
And I went to go get my car washed. And so now I go to the car wash, and there were 2 people in line ahead of me, right? One was a white man, one was a white woman. The woman behind the counter was Mediterranean. I don't know where specifically in the Mediterranean, but Mediterranean. So, lighter woman, but nonetheless. Real nice to them. Oh, how was your car wash? Oh, that'll be da-da-da. And then the next one. Oh, great. Would you like to buy anything else? Get to me. She sit there. She didn't even look up at me. 55. I have met DMV workers who were nicer to me than this one was. 55. And so for me, let me just put this out here. I'm not that bitch. You're not going to do that shit to me, okay?
What did you do?
I looked at her, I said, excuse me, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. So I leaned my face down, so she had to look up at me, like a verbal cue, bitch, look up, pardon my language, but look up. And so I said, I'm sorry. And she says, I'm 55. And so I wanted to get like a little air freshener for my car. I got the new car smell. It's real nice. That's the way the car smells. I
love new car smell.
But I was like, I wanted to get some cherry or something like that. So I'm up here looking along the wall to see what else I could buy. They had they had the little plug-in to be able to plug in the extra charges in there. I got all kinds of shit in the car. So I'm like trying to look, and I got all kinds of stuff. So I'm looking. And nobody's in line behind me. So I'm looking. It's 55, she says to me. And I looked at her, I said, sweetheart, I'm trying to spend more money at your business. I said, so you'll wait. And I went back to what I was doing. At this point in time, baby, it's a cat fight. Because I'm just going to do what the fuck I want to do at this point in time. I couldn't just say, give me my money. I could have said, I'm not going to So, couldn't do that. So I was like, well, I'm just going to use my power the way I want to use it. I'm going to go through every motherfucking air freshener and read the titles.
The smell is great. Can you pass me out, please?
Exactly. What you going to do? And so I gave her the card. She didn't even want to touch my hand, so she just slid the receipt to me across the counter, real nasty. I went to Yelp and wrote a good old nasty review on there. But the thing is this, I'm from the South. I'm an overtly gay Black man. I'm not stupid. I know when I'm being discriminated against. So I bring all this up to say, although I've not experienced although I have not personally experienced colorism, not that I can think of, I do know what it means to be made to feel inferior by someone else. But for me, the greatest thing that helped me to have this level of confidence that I don't take in that person's ignorance is because my parents poured messages onto me that empower me, and that's what I love about these books.
And then also your parents have empowered you so much that you probably have experienced colorism, but you're so on another level that you don't even see it.
I ignore. I wouldn't even notice it.
That's amazing.
You got to outright call me the N-word or something crazy.
And then, but at the same time, you understand at this point, it's not about you. And like, it's not about you. These people are spewing hate because they don't like something about themselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's why it's all about loving and crowning and becoming yourself right now instead of waiting till you're 32 or 31 after a bad relationship to find yourself.
That's normally when it happens.
Let your babies find themselves now before they. If I could have had this type of power before I hit 10, what?
But you know what? I think that we want to make sure these people will have a narrative that they direct the narrative for their children in an empowering way. But the reality is, you may not have been in this position had you not gone through that, because it made you work harder. You had something to prove, to put a chip on your shoulder.
Yes.
So I don't think any child should have to go through what you went through.
No.
But there's a blessing in every story.
And there's a time frame for everything. And thank God everything has happened the way it has. Because I don't think I would have appreciated or understood why I had it or got it. Because I didn't go through anything. Yes, what I've done and gone through has made me an entire different warrior.
Are you gonna have babies?
Yes.
You are?
That big old chocolate baby.
Big old chocolate baby. Hey, Daddy.
I want 4.
Me too. I want
2
4.
or 4. 2 or 4.
I say
because I want them to double team on each other.
You can't just have one.
And then you can't have 3. I was the middle child of 3, and it's horrible.
I was a middle child too, but I just kind of kept to myself. I like the middle child.
I kept to myself too, but then they used to, like, when they used to double team, I was like, okay, cool, let's play. But then they used to be like, no, we don't want to play with you. We'll play with each other. And so then I had to go back and be by myself. So I'm like, okay, cool.
No, my sister's 10 years younger. You always see Nia on here. She's 10 years younger. So my role with her was very brotherly, but at times a little parental because I was the bigger brother.
Wow, 10 years. Whoa.
10 years. And then my older brother, Neil, he's 2 years apart. So we definitely kind of grew up together. I think Nia was more of the loner because she was so much younger. You know what I mean? The relatability there. We all got along. But you know what I went for?
Why?
Here's my logic. I got a logic on this whole thing, right? Well, first of all, in my family, we don't do 2 or nothing. I got 19 nieces and nephews, okay? So that literally like not having kids. And so 2 is out the window. I feel like you gotta have at least 3, because like, what if one of the kids don't like you? It's not a guarantee that you gonna like them and they gonna like you. Some of y'all don't like your damn kids. Let's just call a thing a thing. Y'all love them, but you say that child get on my fucking nerves, okay? Let's just call a damn thing a thing. So one of them don't like me. I got 2 of them who might wipe my ass when I get old.
Oh my God.
That's my logic. Kids are insurance.
Yeah.
You know? And 4, I'm good.
You're good.
I'm
at
real
least 3.
good.
You gonna win at least 3, and then if the 3 fall off, you got that one that's gonna turn the lead.
That's what I'm saying. I need to be good. So 4, that's my insurance.
That makes sense. I was thinking more 2 on 2, so they can, like, we ain't talking to them today. I'm like, all right, cool, handle it.
Oh my God, what if they all team up on your ass?
Oh, I ain't well, my mom was 5'7", and when we started becoming like 6 feet and over when we hit 13, 14, and she made a point. Every time, even if it was not washing dishes, she would stand on top of something and cuss us out. Like,
really?
Still, yo, mama, I will jump up there. And
I can see you now looking at her
like
okay,
that. Boy, like, why are you always that aggressive? You asked to wash the dishes. Like, calm down.
Oh my God.
No, but she let you know, I'm mama.
I'm mama.
You ain't, so I ain't worried about that.
Bless her heart. Oh my God. So, okay, so you want kids. What are you going to tell your kids about their color?
I'm just gonna let them be themselves. I'm gonna let them be themselves, and also just let them know that they're special and that nobody's different because everybody's different. Yeah. Nobody's different because everybody's different. And just letting them know that you're brought here on this amazing place we call Earth to live one life. So live it, do what you want to do, let your freak flag high, stand high, because you never know what that energy will do with the next person. At this point in my life, the journey has been great and it is great, but it's not just about me anymore. It's about the little black boy in Mississippi or any other little town. I said in my Emmy speech, and I didn't even know what I was saying, but I'm like, it's not about just going out here to get money. It's about inspiring and giving back and not waiting until you have millions to give back. Give back now and actually teaching these babies that you can do whatever you want to do. And I didn't have any like people in entertainment. I never saw anybody in my family on the TV unless it was like news and my mom talked about the new school uniforms one time on the news. She went crazy. But let them know they can do anything they want. And my nieces, they know I write books. They see me on TV, and they know they can do anything.
You're the inspiration.
They can do anything.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to teach my kids. You can do anything, and we need you to do anything because being normal is boring.
Who the fuck want to be normal?
Like, it's boring.
You know, for me, so when I started out in this industry, I started out as a YouTuber, and I was trying my best to be as normal and as status quo as everybody else. Yeah, I didn't want to come across as too gay. Good luck with that one. I didn't. I was okay with coming across as black because I'm from the South, okay, and I have an accent. And I tried to cover my accent. That didn't help. I tried to do all these things and try to dilute myself. I had so little viewership. People weren't really buying my products. And I did that for years and I couldn't figure it out. I figured maybe if I do different topics, I will get a different audience. And then I remember one time I got burned out because I literally kept doing these videos and nothing was happening. So I stopped doing videos for about 2 years, right? Wow. And I remember I was out with one of my friends. His name's Dwayne. Dwayne, if you're watching, thank you. I don't know if you remember this conversation. We're out and I remember he says, "Are you still doing videos?" I was like, "No, I haven't done any in a while." I was like, they're kind of draining to do. They take so much work to do. I don't know. He's like, "Can I give you some feedback?" I was like, "Okay." Now, whenever they ask you, "Can I give you feedback?"
They're about to take your head off.
Okay.
Hey, do you mind? Yeah.
It's like, okay, let me gird my loins. Right. And so he was like, he said, "I think you're good on camera. I think you'd be better if you were being yourself." And I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" Because I felt like someone had just ripped my clothes off. Like I felt exposed. I was like, "What do you mean? You noticed I wasn't being myself?" Because in my mind, I thought that no one noticed that I wasn't being myself. And then so
tricking people.
Yeah, I thought everyone thought I thought they thought I was being authentic. And then so he says, "Yeah, I don't know. I just don't. I see you who you are now in real life versus how you're on camera. I like this here." So I started making baby steps to try to be more myself. And it's a process. It was hard because I had so many things conditioned in my mind that who I was not good enough. For you, the who I was not good enough was because of your skin color. For me, the who I was not good enough because I thought I was too gay, too this, too that, too the other. We all have our own narratives at the end of the day. And so for me, I had to really unpack that. Therapy was a big thing. My sister kept coming to me saying, "Okay, you pushing the envelope, but you need to push a little further. Be yourself."
Wow.
And everyone kept saying it, and it was a breakup. It was a breakup.
Oh,
he broke my heart, and I couldn't focus on teaching about anything else at that point in time. So I went on camera and talked some story about having my heart broken, or something like that. I don't remember what it was. And that was what cracked it open for me. And I saw the huge response that I got from being myself and just owning all who I am. And understand I didn't have to be normal. I just had to be me. And just literally, it's like the heavens opened up to me. The numbers went up, the sales went up, all that kind of stuff went up. And for me, it made me wish that I had been myself so much earlier and that I had never gotten to the normal trap. Because being normal is a trap.
It's a trap. And it sucks.
How do people follow you?
I'm at I am Terrence T.
I am Terrence T. We'll tag you.
And it's Crown Me as well.
All right,
and the other thing I learned as well,
what's
real
that?
quick,
I'm gonna put this
when I wanted to, especially acting,
okay.
How the hell you gonna go and try to be somebody else and you don't even like yourself? So acting, quote unquote, you need to really understand who you are before you can jump into these stories and become these other spirits. You know what I mean? Like it was a barrier.
You have to embrace yourself.
You have to embrace yourself to take on somebody else's issues in the story. Like what?
Well, clearly it's working out well.
It's working out.
Emmy winner.
Yeah.
Progressive man. That's a man, Savannah. How many they buy this book?
You go to iCrownMe.com or TerrenceTerrell.com. iCrownMe.com. We have these, we have the hoodies.
Oh yes.
We have hoodies.
He brought this hoodie in for me, and he said, he's like, you want to wear this on camera? And initially I said, let me pull this down for a second.
Oh
Initially I said, I'm not wearing this on camera. He said, why not? I was like, because it's a little loose. Let me show y'all how it is. You know I show y'all too. I said, you gotta clip me
He
in.
clipped it in the back,
Okay,
y'all.
because literally, honey, I gotta have my girls up. I gotta be in something tight or colorful or something, baby. So, but anyway, it's very comfy, okay? So you get yourself a nice hoodie, girl.
It has crowns on the back.
Oh, it's got the crown in the back. Look at this. I'm just touching.
So even if we have hoodies, we still know our worth. And so all of the there's merch there. There's scullies. There's hats. There's I call them crowns. And there's books.
In the books. So here's what I want you to do. Moms, dads, get these books for your children. Even if your children ain't black. I think that teaching people is for everybody. Grandmas, grandpas, get this for them, okay?
Great
Teachers,
uncles.
Everybody, get them. They're wonderful. Use my discount code, which is what?
MJ10.
MJ10. All right. Thank you for being
Thank
on.
you for
You're
having
wonderful.
me. You're amazing.
Thank you,
Keep
darling.
being you. You are amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.